Last question, unless I get any more questions from the gallery here. But for this group, we're in unprecedented times. At some point, this will come to a conclusion or a transition, and we'll be back to a level of new normalcy, whatever that looks like. For each one of you, we're hopefully back on campus, hopefully together, seeing each other again. But what are some priorities that you have when student athletes come back, and how do you see your work shifting in the future, if at all?
For us, we are already looking at our fall planning. We have a scheduled date for it. We talk about our fall planning in June, looking at everything that we plan to do from August to December. It's gonna be business as usual for us, as normal, whatever the new norm is. We're gonna meet with the students, and I think that because of this time, we're gonna get more students more engaged because of the focus that our students have now. The learning aspects of what they're doing. We'll continue to, again, poll our students and ask them what type of programming is necessary for them. We'll definitely reach out as the industry shift, right? Because I have to be mindful of what's going on outside of the University of Michigan. I have to be aware of what's going on in each of the states that we are recruiting our kids from as they go back, as far as unemployment rates, as far as hiring trends in each state, as far as, what occupations or industries are not hiring, can't recover as fast as we can go back to school in a few months, right? So I think that knowledge is how we gonna sit down, my team and I, we're gonna develop our fall, right, for those situations, because again, the ultimate goal for our students to have a career outcome and going back to their respective states if they're not Michigan resident, and be prepared.
I would say we're going to have two lanes coming back. A lane that that is face to face, and then also we'll look to build platforms where our kids can learn also virtually. So, like right now, I'm reaching out to IT and learning about Canvas, which is a platform that we can use. Maurice Washington has used it when he was at Bowling Green, and he's told me how helpful it is. But we're going to have those two lanes so that we can provide those opportunities for our student athletes in that regard. And again, just continue to leverage this experience that we've gone through right now and helping them understand, we want, when our kids are working with employers and with their teams and with their professors, not to try to find the correct answer, but to be able to speak from their heart, be able to understand where other people are coming from, be able to talk through their values and their strengths and their personality, and understand all that so they can recognize, understand, and manage their emotions as they work with people to solve problems. And so this has been, I think this is a great learning and teaching opportunity for us with our student athletes. And the question we keep asking ourselves in our group is, how do we get better as a result of this, as opposed to it's something we went through and we want to go back to normalcy? How do we get better from this? And that's the thing that we're going to look to leverage. And that's just Michigan athletics, leaders and best. We're always going to think about how better today than yesterday, better tomorrow than today. And that's what we're going to do.
I would say for my respective area, I think part of it is looking at every opportunity as an opportunity to learn. So assessing every step of the way to see what things we could tweak to perhaps have this new normal as a potential option if something was to occur again. I think the other part within that is recognizing that there's a level of comparability that already exists within our in-person approach and operations. So to some degree, to get to where we are, there's something clearly that worked more times than not. So if you look at having a graduation success rate of 93%, there's some things that we figured out on how to make it work. I think with respect to this new environment, it's an opportunity to be able to hone our skills in on that and sharpen them. So in cases which are occurring in, some of those minimal steps in between can be eliminated. So I think it becomes a great, as BT noted, a great teaching and learning experience for our team as well as our student athletes.
Really appreciate those answers. I apologize if anybody else is asking any questions. My system's on the fritz a little bit. I have one just point on an email from Dennis asking about students returning to campus. Dennis, right now we're under a shelter-in-place order from the governor's office that currently extends through April 13. So that would certainly take precedence over everything that we do. U of M and athletics has shut down any activities through April 21st, so a little bit longer. And then it was just a couple of days ago, the Big Ten Conference just limited any athletically related activities, organized team activities through May 4th. So, it's an interesting thing, and indicates the system that we're under, where we have kind of a bunch of different timelines that are happening that these three gentlemen are dealing with as well. But right now, we view ourselves as part of the University of Michigan, and we are going to do everything that U of M asks us to do in order to keep everybody safe and reduce the curve here. So with that, I don't see any other questions. I want to thank Kenneth, Brian, Maurice. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your time and your insights here. And this is going to be recorded. At some point, we'll be able to pull the file down and we'll put it up online for people to find specific answers if they want. If anybody has follow-up for these three gentlemen, I'll be happy to facilitate that for you. So with that, thank you all again. Go Blue.
Go
Thank you for having
Blue.
me. Go Blue.
Thanks so much. Go Blue.
All right, guys. Take care.